Welcome friends, family, coaster enthusiasts, and planet coaster enthusiasts. My name is Shadow Phoenix. This is episode 4 of Vista View. And what we are working on today is the entry plaza. So in the last episode, we finished off our entryway there, our grand station. Got all that done, and now the next part was to actually work on the actual plaza itself, where you kind of will be coming into it, including ticket booths and a couple of small shops on the outside there. I don't have a whole lot to really talk about today during this episode, so it's mostly going to be just one of those silent ones with just the music, and you guys can kind of sit back and watch the time lapse. But I wanted to thank everybody for tuning in to these. My last few episodes have grown exponentially in views within the last couple of days, so things seem to be going quite well. You guys seem to be looking or liking this one a whole lot better than you did my original series. I don't know why that is. Maybe I'm just growing in popularity to begin with, but nonetheless. So again, thanks everybody for tuning into these. There is a couple things I guess I could kind of talk about in this episode before I take off and come back at the end of it. I wanted to talk about what Vista View is. So I've been thinking about this for a little bit, and during the process of building this, I've kind of come up with a backstory for the park a little bit. And what this is, I don't know if I mentioned this in one of the earlier episodes or not, but I'm going to go in a little more detail about it in this one. So Vista View is actually a very old park that is owned by a chocolate company. A fictional Vista Chocolates, which is one of the biggest chocolatiers, shall we say, in Europe, and that is kind of where they kind of come from this. So the backstory of this is a little bit kind of like Hershey Park in a way. Now the reason they have so much money to build a park that's even better than, Hershey Park, and, to almost Disney-esque, is they actually dabble a little bit in, kids' cartoons and other things as well. A little bit in the media, so to say. So they do have, obviously not quite as big as Disney, but they dabble, so to speak. I believe there's a couple of amusement parks or theme parks over in the Netherlands and Europe that they actually do the same thing. They have their own cartoons, or they're affiliated with some cartoon companies or something like that. It's kind of the same way here. So early on, they've had a history with TV and producing shows and things like that. So that's where a little bit of the money kind of comes from on this as well. As well as being, once again, the fictional biggest chocolate company in Europe. That's kind of why they have all this money. And that's a little bit of the backstory to it. Now, the reason I kind of combine these two is it kind of combines two of my favorite things. Chocolate, obviously, because since this is a very alpine themed park, and I think Swiss, and when I think of Swiss, I think chocolate, and that's kind of where the idea kind of come from. Hershey Park is a beautiful park as well, and I really like the idea that they have a chocolate tour and everything. So I've been kind of toying with that idea. So you might very well see a chocolate dark ride in the future. That is something that we are probably going to work on. But yeah, that's kind of the backstory to it. The other thing where that kind of comes from as well with the cartoons and stuff is my home park, which is Kings Island. Before it was owned by Cedar Fair, before it was owned by Paramount, it was kind of owned by Hanna-Barbera a little bit, or they had ties with Hanna-Barbera. For those of you who are young and you don't know who Hanna-Barbera is, I'll just break it down to you. Hanna-Barbera is one of the best cartoon companies in the world, in my opinion. Now, this is a personal opinion, but I just think it is. They produce tons of stuff. You guys more than likely know them from Scooby-Doo. But they had a lot of other stuff too. Secret Squirrel, the Flintstones, the Jetsons. This was Hanna-Barbera. And they had a stake in Kings Island and Kings Dominion at the time, as well as I think a couple of other parks as well. And this is back in the 70s and 80s, and this was kind of when I was really, really big into going to theme parks and stuff with my family and things like that. So I grew up on this. and I wanted to put a little bit of that into this park the best I can. And even though I can't put like mascots and stuff in there, well, I mean, we have mascots, and I may kind of fiddle with that idea a little bit. The best way that I could find to put that into it is the actual backstory of the park. So that's why we have Vista View. Now, some people have mentioned, wait, Vista means view. See, that backstory that I come up with handles that as well. Vista chocolate. You see? Problem solved. So, that is going to be it for me. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about the backstory, maybe a little bit about kind of a hint on something that you may see coming in the future of the park, and kind of go from there. So I will see you guys at the end of this video, and we will take a kind of a close look at what we've built here. In the meantime, enjoy the time lapse. Welcome back, everybody, and this is our finished entry plaza in all of its glory. Eagle-eyed viewers will recognize a few things way in the background that you may have seen previously, or if you're my Twitch viewers, you probably already know a couple things, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about this fantastic, beautiful looking entry plaza. This thing is just awesome. I love it. My Twitch viewers love it. Everybody seems to really think it's great. Everybody that's seen it loves it. So let's kind of talk about a few things here. So first of all, the little shops here, those windows, I love these windows. I'm going to use these a lot more in the park as we get more into things. These kind of half circle windows, basically. I kind of come up with this idea for myself. It's a mixture of a few different parts that make just a really, really cool looking kind of different type of window that you would see in like a building style like this, basically. Now these clocks at the top, they are timed so that when the little guy comes out and rings the bell on both sides at the exact same time, they're timed to when the train enters the station. We even was able to put a guy in the ticket booth there to welcome and greet our ticket purchasers and stuff when they come to the park. If you haven't already bought your ticket online, you can get it there before you go through the gates over there. And yeah. And, you know, of course, the idea was we wanted to get a couple of shops out here as well. This is a shout out to Planet Bro Coaster and Kinderly there. So, hope you guys enjoy that little thing there. I'm a huge fan of that series. So, if you guys don't watch it, highly suggest it. We did a little bit of gardening. There's still some more gardening to do. There's still some more terraforming and landscaping. But that is it. This is our entry plaza. So, this has been episode 4 of Vista View. I hope to see you guys in episode 5. You guys seem to enjoy it, so should be up in about at least by the end of the week. Episode 5 will be up. They're coming a little fast right now because I got a lot of footage I got to do, and I've got a lot of free time. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hey everyone, if you'd like to help support me and my channel, I have a Patreon page where you can do just that. You can pledge anything from $1 or more. Anyone who pledges $15 or more gets a unique, specially designed roller coaster and Planet Coaster made just for them. My little way of saying thanks. You can also just send donations as well if you don't want to join Patreon. And you can find those links in the video description below. Every tiny red cent I make from these means the world to me and is extremely helpful. If you're interested in my PC setup that I work with and play on that you see here, every piece of the system is described below with links to Amazon if you want to purchase them or anything else. Thanks for tuning in my videos and my channel. If you aren't already a subscriber, click that on the screen below. And you can also check out a few of my other videos on the screen here as well. You can keep up to date on what's going on in my own little world via Twitter or watch me stream live on Twitch as well. Links are in the video description below. So wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.